newcomers in the houses, the Utafiti Sera house. Our house is focusing on UHC. So the Zambian house was launched in the year 2024 in January, and we are focusing on the issue of governance and leadership to see how best we can utilize that to ensure that it's done. The key successes for the house is that right now we have gotten a huge buy-in from the Ministries of Health, Ministry of Community Development, and these are ministries that are supporting the universal health coverage and the universal health access. In this sense, we want to make sure that they are very much closer. For our champion, we have a member of parliament who is very well knowledgeable and has a lot of experiences that helped to ensure that we are able to go successfully with the subject matter.
Evidence, I also speak from the parliamentary point of view. It's one of the most critical ingredients of making somebody a good policy maker. Because for every policy to work, there should have been evidence. For every policy to be functional.
Much as we perceive policy to be a high-level decision-making approach, the people or populations that are affected are the everyday people like you and me on the ground.
You are able to balance the interests. So it gives you that platform to help you balance the interest, as well as also share the benefits. And finally, it helps us on accountability as especially duty bearers. Thank you very much.
The Utafiti Sera approach is aiming at bridging the gap between the researchers and the policy makers. So why is it unique? It is unique in this sense that the Utafiti Sera approach brings all the key stakeholders to talk and to deliberate on the policy process as they generate compelling evidence. The views of even the common ordinary citizen into the policy process, we believe that we are likely to have a policy framework that is accepted across a broad spectrum because it was co-created with multiple people, with multiple voices. And not only at the design, we carry along all these stakeholders from the start of the design up to the end when we are now disseminating and even when the policy uptake is happening.
This is what the water company wants, but this is the reality. They call it spaghetti, isn't it? Public policy says this is it, but the practice policy says this is it. So the practice policy is evidence.
Urban governance in Rwanda started back in 2017, and the first convening were hosted on January of 2018, focusing on city transformation and urban governance. So continuous relationship have been built between the House members and IPA as the host of the House. So the Urban Governance House has achieved much in a way of influencing policy. So the House is there to gather insights from stakeholders, but we are there to influence policy change. And we are proud that in recent years, we have seen policy changes that incorporate House's insights, that incorporate our ideas, that incorporates the House's outcome.
But it is not a present debate, or it's not a debate that started in 2016. It was way before, because it's been documented that the theory that has been guiding a lot of urban areas or urbanization in Africa has been a modernization theory. And in this modernization theory, it's been seen in the context of road infrastructure, of airports, of dams, and such. And then this debate, I think, started raging on, and the majority of the people who are in it around the interpretation of socioeconomic rights, because we were saying that the state has got what we call immediate obligations, maximum available resources, provision of retrogressive measures, and obligation to take steps. But on what? Was it on the road infrastructure? Was it on dams? Was it on airports? Or is in the context of human development? And for those who review human development, look at it in the context of access to basic education, access to health, access to basic education, health, housing, and social protection. And when the debate raged on, then to what extent was the modernization theory that was being applied by many of the African states advancing human development? Because if what we were witnessing in Kibra and such, that we're clawing back on this.
Utafiti Sera, youth employment creation, builds a relationship through creating a stakeholder platform in which they can be able to create evidence which is used in policy making and decision making. We do encourage partnerships and also create awareness so that the community is sensitized and they are able to work together so that they use existing synergy to expand their socioeconomic status.
At the heart of Utafiti Sera is the policy issue. And the various Utafiti Sera houses, they all deal with their own specific policy issues. The convergence is that they use the same approach. And the approach starts with identifying the stakeholders. And we use a particular methodology. We use stakeholder mapping through the lens of political economy analysis, where we look at who are the stakeholders who have power and interest around that particular issue, where we run the Utafiti Sera concept. So my part in short is that inter-house convenings like this one creates the space for learning. We learn from each other and we build capacities. We strengthen the existing capacities. My part in short is that let's continue learning from one another, and learning does not have to happen in a physical convening like this one. It should go on even into the virtual space. It's a continuous process.